want it, homie, I keep it 100. Never front it while you stun it, acting like you hate it, but really want it.
What's good, everybody? It's Green Bear, the best scar boner, over here with Felicity, Poubelle, and I'm about ready to get laced into and just all my hopes and dreams ruined about all my favorite shows. Maybe just like all the rest of you. And that's how I introduce.
You're supposed to be the positive one out of the two of us.
I don't know what to say, Felicity. I'm coming into this in the dark just like the rest of you. I don't know how much she's going to just demolish one of my favorite shows right now, The Offer, we're going to talk about, because I somehow got her to watch it. And yeah, I'm probably going to hear some more shit talk about Moon Knight. And then she might, by the end of this night, who knows, she might make me not even want to go see Multiverse of Madness anymore. So, how's that?
You give me a lot of power here.
But so you watched the first 3 episodes?
I did. Do you want to kind of give a little bit of a background of what The Offer is actually about?
Yeah. All right, guys. So if you haven't watched it yet, which I don't think a lot of people have, it's on Paramount Plus, like the newer streaming service. This is basically a series kind of outlining like the creative process and like the production of The Godfather. So if you like The Godfather, you're gonna love the show. That's my opinion. We'll see if that's true at all after Felicity gives her opinion on it. But basically, this takes us through the life or the lens of the executive producer of The Godfather, Al Luddy, right? Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, before Felicity crushes all our hearts, I'll just let you guys know my take on it. Look, I stumbled across this maybe like a month ago, started seeing the previews coming out for it, kind of marked it down as like a must watch. And you watch that first episode, and besides Luddy, it also dives into a little bit of like just what was going on at the time. I think it was like 1970. So you kind of got like a little bit of like, you got like the end of 60s feeling going on, a little bit Mad Men-esque, especially at the workplace, like if you're into that period of time, it's interesting. But we also get these little, not callbacks, because it's obviously not a callback to like the Godfather isn't real past, but these small moments where like they show things that happen in The Godfather, where if you've seen it before, you'll see the show and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Felicity, on that part, at least. Felicity?
I'm sorry. No. So, you ready for me to kind of give my take on it?
I'm scared.
No, you know what? You should not be scared, because I actually do like the show. I have issues. Actually, I have really one big issue, and the rest of it is pretty good for me. Okay. So as far as like the setting, great. It all looks great. I mean, it's Paramount, so I mean, they're doing a story based on a part of their history, so they're going to do it up. We got Bob Evans, played by Matthew Good. He's doing such a great job.
Oh my god, yeah, just role. Like gotta say it too. The cast in the show is like phenomenal. Like,
yeah, Giovanni Ribisi as the gangster. I think his name is Joe Colombo.
Yeah, I went and looked this guy up. So, and I think I know where you're going with what your issue is with it, but I'll let you get to it when you get.
Okay. You got me figured out, huh? So yeah, Giovanni Ribisi is great. As the gangster. What would people remember him from? I know I remember him from a goofy ass role as Phoebe's sisters. What was she? Was he a brother or
he was like her half brother?
Yeah. So she was a surrogate for them. He was a part of that couple that she was a surrogate for. And so that was a goofy ass role, but we've all seen him in other, more serious stuff.
Yeah, like more recently, like Sneaky Pete on Amazon Prime.
Was that good? I did not watch that.
The first season, like, amazing. The second season was like, and I didn't even check out the full third season. Honestly, like, the appeal of it for me is the whole thing is based in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and that's like 45 minutes away from me. So that was like.
So did they actually film it? Did they actually film it there?
I'm not sure. Like, they make it seem like way more like country, and Bridgeport is not country at all. Like, it's this straight up city. It's the biggest city in Connecticut. So like it didn't make sense there. But there's like mentions of like Foxwoods Casino, and obviously I've been there. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what I know. He's had some huge roles besides that too. Like, the guy's got range, but I don't know, that's all you gotta know.
You've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's out there, but he's a good actor. Let's see who else is in here that would be familiar to people. The secretary, Betty. You've probably seen her in a bunch of stuff too. For some reason, the thing that sticks out for me with her is Killer Joe. Have you ever seen that movie?
No,
she was the young girl in that movie. Matthew McConaughey, Gina Gershon was in it.
You're talking about Killer Joe. I was gonna say, like,
Killer Joe. She was Killer Joe's love interest in that movie. Juno Temple is her name, but she's been in a bunch of stuff too. So she's doing a great job. My big problem with this is the lead. Good old Mr. Miles Teller, Reed Richards from the last Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, he's coming on like strong in this show. Like, he's putting up like a hell of a performance, like a rebound.
To be honest with you, that's my problem. That's my problem.
Oh my
yes, that is my problem, because I don't feel like he's charismatic enough for this role. I'm not saying he's.
Have you watched some of the after show parts of it, like the guys really playing?
I have. I've watched the after. The little stuff that they do right after the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's an executive producer on this.
In real life, though, he is not charismatic at all. He's kind of weird. So.
Yeah, no, but I just. Look, I like how they're doing the show. They're basically showing that Hollywood is full of a bunch of hustlers. All these people are hustlers, just, trying to get to the next gig, the next movie, the next show, the next whatever. So they're all hustlers in this, all the gangsters are hustlers. That I think that's interesting too, with this show, is that the mafia people, the mobsters, are probably almost as cutthroat as each other. Except I don't know if they're going to show anything like that. They may not have to kill anybody on the Hollywood side of things, but Miles Teller for me in this role just doesn't work.
That's not what I saw coming, but.
I
can see where people. I know a lot of people don't really feel him, so I get it.
No, but he doesn't do anything for me, and I'm not talking about like sex appeal or anything like that. I mean, he's just not really drawing me in. I really feel like he's the weakest part of the show. Really? Does that mean that I won't watch it anymore? No, I will still watch, because it's a good show. Yeah. I can get past him. But
I don't think he's doing like a bad job though, or he's just not like enough to lift you off your feet.
Yeah, it's just he's just coming off as flat to me.
I can tell that you're trying so hard to be like happy and pleased with it, and you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to love it. I can't love it because of him, but I do like it quite a bit. I don't think he has any chemistry at all with his girlfriend in the show, and I don't know what her name is.
Amber.
Sure.
Like, look at this French lady. Oh my God.
What's up? But yeah, no chemistry at all with the girlfriend in the show. And that's kind of worrisome. But
Right.
yeah, he's just the weak part for me. I think the person who's probably doing the best, which I was kind of surprised about in the show, is Dan Fogler as Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah,
Um,
he's killing it. What?
he really is. When he first started talking, I was like, damn, that's Francis Ford Coppola right
Right.
there. He gave me serious Francis Ford Coppola vibes. Yeah, I think overall the cast is great. Just Miles Teller is just not doing it for me, but overall the show is good. I would recommend people watch it. I had no idea there was so much drama behind getting this movie off of the ground.
I've
I
heard
think that
stuff.
probably you've heard stuff. What'd you
Yeah,
hear before?
one of the coolest things probably I listened to about this is like there's a Ringer podcast called like the Rewatchables. They've gone back
Uh-huh.
in like a ton of movies, and it's usually like an hour and a half long. But they did like The Godfather Part Two. The making of this was just like insane. They were trying to get this out. You can actually, if you look up just Joe Colombo, like just his Wikipedia, even it'll say like some of the crossings like they had like between Albert Luddy and him. Um, I don't know how much I want to give away or if people are actually going to. I don't think we're really influencing that many people right here. If you guys are listening, then you want to hear a little bit about it. But there's just like that scene where he shows him the script. Like, oh my god, that was like that was like you got to give him to Miles Teller there. I thought he killed it for a minute in that scene at least, or maybe just a character at least to me.
Yeah, no, I think that
But he gives him
the
like
actual man, like the fact that he did that he had the
the
balls to do that, that just is crazy. But yeah, no, he's just not doing it for me. I would love to say that he was doing a great job. It's not coming across for me.
yeah.
But it's not killing the show. Big surprise for me with this, because I mean I did know there was some drama, but like the scene where Mario Puzo, who is the writer of the Godfather book, went into the restaurant and started talking to Frank Sinatra.
That really happened.
He was
Actually
about to
happened.
stab him with a fucking fork. I was just like, what the
But
fuck?
see where I thought you were gonna go with the problem issues you have with it. I thought you were gonna like note like some of the historical inaccuracies with it. Like
Nah.
basically they kind of get off towards like the end of the third where like they make it out like him and Joe Colombo are like friends for life now. And it's like that wasn't really the case. It was just kind of like getting on his good side so he could make the movie, you know. But like oh man, like the Sinatra thing, like there was definitely some static there when they were making the movie. Sinatra did not want this made. The mob didn't definitely want it made. But might have been less so mob and just more like Italian Americans about it. On top of that, the that letter he wrote to Marlon Brando, you can look that up and read the letter. It's crazy.
I totally buy that Marlon Brando would take the role based on a letter from the writer. I
Yeah.
totally buy that.
Well, it's different
Because
time too. It's
he's
like
kind of nuts.
1970, 1969 when he sends it to him, you know.
Yeah, the part where Ruddy goes to the set and basically bullshits his way onto the set to see Robert Redford so he could get him into a movie. I thought that was funny as hell.
Yeah, it
Because
was
he was just
great.
like he caught a plane just randomly. He's like, I'm gonna get on this set and
Yeah.
just walk up to Robert Redford. And the guy says, who are you? Oh, I'm the producer of this next movie. I needed to speak to him. He just walks on the set, and I'm just like, okay. And then he spins this line of bullshit to Redford, and Redford agrees to be in the movie. So
Yeah.
no, like the actual character, of Ruddy in the show. No, that works for me.
Yeah.
It's just not Miles Teller just doesn't. He's just not doing it for me, man.
I think the writing is enough to get you past it though. But
No, the writing is good. The writing is good.
Bob
They've
Evans'
got
character is just wild. It's like really fun just watching that guy like go nuts with it.
that's true. Yeah, when he found the rat in his
Yeah.
bed.
But see, that's what I'm saying too. They're doing like these gentle callbacks to the movie,
Yeah.
like the rat in the book is that's that horse, or that horse's head, and then
Hmm.
when Joe Colombo walks into the bar, that whole scenario, like that's Michael Corleone walking into the bar with Salata and the police
Yeah.
chief. I'm just that's what's like those little nostalgic parts are like making me go insane while I'm watching this movie because I love those. Like probably one of my favorite movies of all time, like that and the second one.
When that happened, I thought he was actually going to shoot at least one of those guys.
Right.
I was
It
waiting
was
for it, but then it didn't happen. So I was like, okay, so I see what they're doing.
it was a boss move. Now that we're
Yeah.
talking about it now too, I'm not gonna go too long on this because I mean we got Al and Lavis even like opening their eyes or I did anyway, like thinking about watching this show too. So maybe I'll give you guys a chance to catch up after this Thursday and make it a thing if Felicity's not angry at it by next Tuesday. But,
Nah, you know what? I don't think that's gonna happen.
yeah,
I think that the way that the first three, episodes have gone,
yeah,
the way that they've set things up, I don't expect there to be any crazy things. This isn't an MCU or a Star Wars TV show. So
right.
I think we can
It's a little bit more in
we know
depth.
what to expect. Yeah.
But just I see you guys in the chat too. What up, Kendall, for stopping by earlier. Abby, good to see you. Sheev, Jared, Chaos, and who just popped? Daniel Fisher just popped in. Thanks for everybody for stopping by. We got some more. We're gonna get into some nerdy stuff too. We just definitely had to address the offer because I'm actually shocked Felicity watched it. Because I've been trying to get her to watch Bel Air this whole time. I got nothing, but.
Yeah, I told you I would watch The Offer, but Bel Air was just a no go. So you might as well just, get over that one.
All right, but so I mean, I think we said as much as we want to say for now about The Offer. It's definitely looking like that's going to get super interesting going forward. I got two shows right now I'm watching outside of like comic book shows, and it's The Offer and then Winning Time about like the Showtime Lakers starting up in like the late 70s, early 80s. Both of those are like historical shows. One of them is like wildly historically inaccurate, like Showtime or Winning Time, but it's still just fun as hell. It's just like a dramatization of events. This is probably going to go that route at some point in The Offer too, but I'm still down with it. It's like a fun story, even without the dramatization. So I'm
How many episodes are in Winning Time? Because I've heard that was good, so I might check that out.
This guy, look at this. We're at like episode 8 now, I think, just dropped on Sunday. That one's like
Okay, so you think is it going to be like 10 episodes for the season or something like that?
I think they might be doing more, and I heard they just got inked up for season 2 as well. So people are
Oh well, it
it
is on HBO Max, so
Yeah.
they need content.
Honestly the best thing they got going for them right now. HBO just fell off hard. They used to, I used to not be able to remember in that movie I Love You Man, where he's like, dude, it's Sunday night, like I have to go watch HBO. That used to be me. Like I had to watch every show on HBO, and then I don't know if streaming just kind of killed that or what, but anyway. Let's jump into a little bit of Moon Knight. I know you've been talking about it. We're all thinking about it. Here we are Tuesday night, just a few hours away from the finale. I don't know who actually cares about this because it's definitely not popping on YouTube when you put out content about it. But nevertheless, it's another show. To me, this whole series is kind of just represented like another aspect of Marvel. I could kind of dive into a little bit more, bust out the old Marvel Unlimited subscription and check on some comics that I might not have really been familiar with. But where are you in terms of just I told you guys when you were doing your from a certain perspective on Sunday that this
You mean
last
from a
episode,
certain point of view? From a certain
yeah,
point of view.
my
7
bad, my
p.m. Eastern
bad.
Standard Time
Yes,
on
if you guys,
the main gang Discord.
Jesus, if you guys didn't know, I gotta get used to this hosting thing apparently. If you guys were aware, that's where Felicity and Abby K are doing their thing normally on Sunday nights at 7, just in time to mess me up with putting my kids to bed. And they like
I appreciate you throwing off your schedule so that you can listen to us bullshit about nerdy stuff.
I'm trying to get a Discord link actually too, and it's being weird with me right now. But I'll throw that in there. I'll probably update that in the description. If actually Chaos, one of the mods, if you guys can throw in the Discord link for Main Gang, appreciate it. All right, but yeah. So Felicity was going off in there last week about Moon Knight. She actually liked it, and I was kind of meh. And honestly, what I meant by that is just the mind fuck of it all. Like, I got through probably the last 3 episodes with like a really good, not even broad, just like general idea of like where the next episode is going to take us. And you look at my videos too, like I'm right there. I'm calling it pretty much like at least like 80% accuracy every time. You know, we get to this one though, and we get to that ending where you're just standing in the field of reeds, and I'm like, wait, what the hell are we doing now? It was like the first moment in the show where it just really threw me off. Like, I don't know. I think I'm still reacting to that a little bit.
So the seriousness, the darkness of the episode didn't get to you.
You can hear me nice and clearly, right? I just realized I didn't pull my mic down this whole time.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Having one of those days. Yeah, sorry. What were you
I
saying?
love scotch. Scotch.
Am I good in the chat, everybody? Everybody hear me just fine? Let me know.
I think you're good.
Yeah, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No. So the darkness, of the episode, sans the goofy ass British hippo. That didn't get you?
Nah, I thought it was I mean, I don't know. It was cool. Like I understood what they're doing. It's not filler, but it's kind of deep because it has to be because they kind of put off telling his backstory and up until now. I guess I was just expecting more of like a lead into what the hell is going to happen next. So I don't know. I can't say like that's the hook to get me to watch the next episode because I'm going to watch the next episode anyway. So it's like.
Well, I mean, the next episode is the last so-called episode of the series.
Right.
Supposedly, they're not gonna be doing another season. Although they keep going back and forth on that. I think, but I think this is probably it, and we'll just see Moon Knight show up in movies and other TV shows. That'd be my guess.
But what do you think we get this finale though? Where's your head going there?
Obviously, we're going to
put you on the spot,
get
right?
rid of Harrow. In some sort. Yeah. We're gonna get rid of Harrow in some sort of way. I'm sure Layla is gonna be find a way to be the hero of the episode. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm pretty much out on this show. I've said that.
Damn, is that bad?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, if they had given me the episode that they gave me last week earlier on,
Right.
I'd still be on board. It would have pulled me in. But yeah, I don't see what they'll be able to do in this final episode to make me be like, oh yeah, I love Moon Knight. I can't wait to see him in this next movie or TV show, guest spot, whatever. So yeah, I'm overall disappointed with the show, unfortunately.
Like Abby's saying, it's just I don't think it's popping popularity wise, but I think what they're gonna need to do if they want to go somewhere else with Moon Knight is they gotta like almost do kind of a Thor makeover on him. Like we got all this serious stuff out of the way. Now let's give him like make him more Deadpool-ish. You know what I mean? Like this is the guy in the comics that's known for just like shouting out random bullshit go. And like we got like a stone cold serious like guy in like a dramatic show, you know. It's different and it's kind of cool, but
Yeah, but is it though? I mean, because we got Deadpool in the MCU now. We haven't gotten an actual movie from him yet,
yeah,
since he moved over from Fox. So if we're doing the Deadpool-ish thing with Moon Knight and we're doing the Deadpool-ish thing with She-Hulk,
yeah.
I mean, is that what we're doing? Everybody's going to be breaking the fourth wall, so to speak.
No, and I'm not saying
yeah.
I'm not saying break the fourth wall. Also, just I don't know. He's not Batman. That's all I'm saying. You know, like
that bothered you, huh? When I said my husband said that he was like the crazier version of Batman.
He doesn't have to be like purposely funny and comedic all the time, but like lighten this dude up a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Like what I'd want to see is more like I'd want to see Moon Knight transform more into kind of like Hawkeye is in the Bat Fraction run. Just kind of like he was borderline anti-hero in that comic book run. It doesn't show as much in the show, but I'd love like that kind of Moon Knight. And now
you mean a show that's called Moon Knight that we actually get some Moon Knight?
Yeah, that's
we haven't really gotten a whole lot of Moon Knight. That's a problem for me.
Right? Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see where they go with it. I've definitely got some thoughts on because at the time of even just like your guys' show going on, I was kind of like I only watched it once and I was like, I don't even know what to do with this right now in my head. But I did a little bit of deep dive and like I had some epiphanies here, right? And bear with me because this is all leading up to something, right? So
okay, I'm listening.
Because the other thing that really kind of got me annoyed is we didn't finally see the third author, Jake Lockley, in this episode.
Right? Actually, we did. We did see him.
We
didn't identify him, exactly. But we saw him.
They didn't come clean and be like, this is the third. You know, that's what I mean. So for those who aren't aware, just a little recap, we get like a few different instances of seeing Lockley in the show so far, right? It's what we're assuming anyway, because they haven't come right out and said it. So we got the streets of Cairo, right? We see what we thought was Mark at first, but he's wearing a hat, gives his Jake Lockley vibes. And then we get a totally different accent, which is basically Oscar Isaac's impression of a person from Chicago impersonating a person from New York, who Jake Lockley would be in New York. But let me just say too, the acting by Oscar Isaac in this show is like, say what you want about the show, like probably second to none so far in the MCU. This has been insane, just what this guy's done with this role. And I'm sure
I agree. Yeah. I totally agree. The acting in the show has, except for that goofy ass thing that happened in the chamber with the the gods, where for some reason Oscar Isaac was like yelling. Everybody was having. Yeah, I that might have been a director call, but it was just cringe to me at the time, and I was like, "What? Why is he sounding like this when everybody else is having their god talk through them and they're just speaking normally?"
Right. It's like you got a voice for Khonshu already, use it, and then get a better voice for the other. I don't know. It was a poor choice, but anyway, we get what we think is Jake Lockley in Streets of Cairo, right? And then we get the daytime fight, like on the rooftops, where Mark's asking Steven who just killed all those guys. So clearly there's a third author right there. That's confirmation of that, at least nothing else. And then just before Layla introduces who she thinks was Mark to the Midnight Man, guy in the horse, we get him saying like, who is this Joker? Like gives an accent again, right? But then like in this episode, or actually the episode 4 and episode 5, we get 2 more sightings, right? So we get that third sarcophagus or second sarcophagus, which is actually standing upright as opposed to Steven's, which is on his back, impossible to break out of because those lids could be probably like 300 to a ton poundage. Ton's not a pound, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then we get we get this sitting with Dr. Harrow in which Mark just acts completely out of character, grabs the sharp pyramid like he's about to stab somebody or himself. And he's got a bandage on his nose that never comes back later in the episode. It's only for that scene. So all this kind of got me thinking, and be honest, I was listening to some other YouTubers going at it too. And basically, like, my combination of everything I've kind of like sponged in for the last like week or so is what we're left with right now going into this last episode is we've got 3 layers of Mark's reality right now. We have the real reality, which is back in Alexander's tomb. We've got this next layer, which is mostly in Mark's mind, it seems like, which is Dr. Harrow's office. And I haven't made up my mind yet whether the hallway is like actually like the doorway out of his mind or what metaphorical value this all has. And then the next layer is the hallway and the doors to the boat. You know, like that's like the third layer of reality we're dealing with. And all this kind of got me looking back to, I'm trying to sum this out. I know I'm like rambling like crazy right now, but we see Steven go off the boat, turn to stone. We see Mark go to the field of reeds. Looks like he's kind of like content there. We're left with the fact that that sarcophagus never opened for Lockley. We did see Lockley in that office, though. At the end of episode 4, Mark runs out of the office and he's chased by 2 orderlies. What if him and Steven kind of like crossed over into that next reality where he's now with Towerette, and the orderlies found Jake Lockley instead? And they pulled him back into the office, kind of beat the crap out of him out of the way there because I'm sure he was a little bit rough. But again, his sarcophagus was standing up, so he might have been able to force his way out, wander in. Now with these 2 altars left kind of like, not for dead, but like left like with no way out, Jake's still on the boat. You know? Maybe he's the savior to kind of pull Mark and them back to real life somehow. I don't know. That's all I can kind of conjure up as a theory.
As far as like the theory crafting, I'm probably not the best person to ask about it because I'm a Moon Knight normie. But you know, that's why I really was expecting a lot out of the show. Yeah. You know, I wanted more Moon Knight. You know, I didn't need the whole Layla, you know, integration.
You are
I guess
always down on the females when they pop up in the MCU.
No, a trend here. But you know what? You're not even liking my
affiliation with Amber from Peacemaker, and I don't understand it.
No, I like Peacemaker. I just joke on you all the time about Amber. You know, maybe we'll see her, you know, next season when she comes back from Lake Tahoe with her husband.
She's only a bright spot in those first 2 episodes, I swear.
Yeah, whatever. But no, my problem is not with the characters necessarily, or the fact that I don't feel like they're fully integrated characters. It always feels like to me like they're stuck on. Like there wasn't a whole lot of thought put into the characterization. Right. And I really got pissed off with this last episode before last week. The one where they were in the tomb, you know, and for some reason she felt like it was necessary to speak to Harrow in the tomb, and she's already witnessed this guy kill somebody. Okay. Yeah. They have no weapons down there, but she just got to, you know, stop and have a little friendly little chat with Harrow about how her dad died and how Mark is, you know, involved somehow. And then she goes to Mark and starts having a hissy fit at him about that. And then she goes and hides and watch him get shot in the chest twice. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
There you have it right there, folks. The main reason Felicity doesn't like Moon Knight is Layla. She's always hating.
No. She's one of the reasons. She's one of the reasons. But it feels like they put her into, you know, incite chaos but it's already a chaotic situation. I mean, we got a guy who's a superhero, who's the avatar for Khonshu, um, and he's got dissociative identity disorder. That's enough chaos right there. And then we have the villain who was the avatar for Khonshu, and he's trying to bring Amet back. So there was already enough chaos in the story without adding her in crying about, oh, my father, you killed my father, and blah blah. I'm just, come on, get out of here.
Dad's dead. Get over it, bitch. He ain't coming back.
Exactly. Hey, that's the way I feel about that, though. I didn't really need that. And then they also say, well, Khonshu really wants her. She's a more appropriate avatar as opposed to Mark. And I'm just like, what? Why are we doing this? It just, everything about that character just feels like it's an add-on that didn't need to happen. At least that's my opinion, and I understand that that's probably a minority opinion, but I'm used to that, so whatever.
I don't know. All I gotta say is I really hope they blow it out the water this last episode, but I just don't. I don't know. But besides me thinking that like Jake comes out and saves them, I have no idea how the hell they get out of the situation they're in right now. That's what's really messing up my head. It took me like all week to think of something. Like,
I almost want to bet you that Layla's going to end up being the hero of this episode. I almost want to, but they may surprise me because I have a feeling that's where they're going with this. Yeah. And that absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. And that would just absolutely put the cap on the show as the number one show that I dislike, on Disney Plus for the MCU.
Yeah, because you think about it, like Khonshu had to like summon the gods or get them pissed at him just for them to like actually get to where he is in stone now. Even though Harrow just had like some open invitation to walk in. So, like, what the hell? Like, what are we doing right now? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That's why I'm like not like totally on Moon Knight after that last episode. It's like, just what are we doing? I don't know where we're at. Got me over here.
It obviously didn't make gods look very godly in this show. I mean, the all the gods that showed up in that chamber to speak with Harrow were total fucking idiots. And Tara, I mean, just the whole goofy, oh, I ain't never, been in contact like this before. And, I was like, you're a god. How long have you been alive? And this is like a totally new situation for you. I just was like, and then they had the goofy ass hippo with the British accent. I just was like, oh God, this is why does Marvel always have to do the inappropriate comic relief? I just hated it. Absolutely hated it.
I'm kind of like, part of me is really hoping that I was right from like way back, and that just at the end of this they say screw it, like Gore's just killing all of these gods. like last scene slices all their heads off, and it's like, watch for Thor: Love and Thunder. Like,
if they did that, I might have to rate this episode a 10 out of 10 if that actually happened.
I'm really like something's got to give, because they held this Thor: Love and Thunder commercial, like the first teaser even, back so long. Like there's got to be a reason for that, and I don't know what's coming out in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, we'll know in a couple of days here, but I got a feeling with this introduction to all these Egyptian gods, like there's got to be some kind of tie-in in this last episode. We got a little bit of a mention of just like the Wakandan afterworld by the hippo lady Tauret in this last episode. I don't know what we're doing here. That's all I'm saying. I'm starting to think at this point, like, have you let me get into your head
too much about being negative on this stuff?
No, not at all. I'm more
okay.
I'm super shilly on all these these shows, and this one's got me like, if Oscar Isaac wasn't carrying this show right now, it'd be troublesome. Actually, you can't say that too, because Christian Slater's killing it too. But
you mean Ethan Hawke?
Yes, I do mean that. And I don't know what.
Oh my God! How could you mix up Ethan Hawke with Christian Slater? What the hell?
I heard something earlier today mentioning Christian Slater. I was like, oh yeah, he's in Moon Knight, right? And I don't know. Where my head went. What's Chaos talking about here? Original person doing the ferrying across might not always have been here. Yeah, that's true. That was a little bit weird how she was like reading cards. Now Chaos is dogging on me for the Christian Slater thing. I'm just trying to see if you guys are still awake in the chat. All right. But anyway, with that being said, that's a good segue into Multiverse of Madness, I believe, which I've got to do a video. I should have done one a long time ago. I should have more time to do the things I like to do, but I don't, because grown folks got to work.
Grown folks got jobs.
I can't say that because you trademarked it, so I gotta put my own version on it. See, if I did that on my thumbnail, I could have got sued. But
I would not sue you about that.
So my biggest thing with this is like, I'm just trying to find an angle like to talk about with this movie, right? And the thing I'm noticing just nobody talk about is, and I almost did a video about this until Josh ruined it over at Then at Nerds. I was theorizing like who that mystery character was, and I mean, like, it's not even a spoiler at this point. It's pretty clear. It's like a variant of Captain Marvel. But I'm looking at that Funko Pop they put out of the Sarah character and wondering, like, all right, why did this character get their own Funko Pop? Like, why is nobody talking about her? Nobody wants to like take a guess. Like, we're just talking about all this other stuff. Like, she's got to have some kind of prominent role in this movie if she got her Funko on, you know? So that's what I'm going to probably look at exploring in my next video about Multiverse of Madness, if I make one in time, which I doubt I will. But if you guys aren't familiar, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not crazy.
No, I know I know Captain Carter, the Shield gave it away that she was going to be in there. And Haley Atwell's at the premiere, so obviously she's in there somewhere. But no, the Sarah thing, no, what are we talking about?
Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, trying to find a way to make this work here in shareable. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. There we go. All right, so we'll just pop up right here. This is what I'm talking about right here, right? We got this character right here, if you can see my mouse. Can we get that bigger? This is the character Sarah, got her own Funko, right? If you notice all the other Funkos, it's like, it's the Mordo variant. Oh, she's even in the same category over here. There's a Doctor Strange variant, a Wanda probably variant, maybe not. I don't know what we're going with at that point. But these are all the Funkos that look like to be released. I might be missing something. You guys let me know. And this character right here, this Minotaur looking character, I forgot his name, but he was actually going to go in my video as well. Hopefully I can get this out in the next like day or so before the movie drops. If not, I'm just going to do my live drive home on Thursday night. But yeah, these two characters I feel like are going to have a bigger role than anybody's talking about. I hope so anyway, so just like I could be right. But I don't know. I originally thought maybe she was actually a mystery character that looks like it's Maria Lambeau, just because, I mean, let's face it, that was when we were looking at the pictures of that image earlier, it was an African-American woman's face. It was pretty clear. And then the hips didn't lie, right? It was a female. Right? And then what's the only Funko here that, like, which one of these things doesn't look like the other that may match the description right here, right? And I'm thinking, like, all right, is there some kind of like sorcery she's into that could like form that kind of imagery? And that's what I was gonna do a video about. And I was literally like, script was 3/4 of the way done, and then Den of Nerds puts out a video and I see it and he spoiled it. I'm like, you son of a bitch. All right. So I know it's not her. I guess in the comics though, she's either it's either going to be Sarah Wolf, who is like it's either connection to Mordo, like Mordo's mother, or a girlfriend of Wong is who we're looking at. And we get
Wong has a girlfriend?
I could be wrong on that one, but that's where I'm going. And basically we get like some footage in the trailer of them at the Kamir-Taj, or what we think it is, but it's got this character right here who's actually like an interdimensional being. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, are we at our Kamir-Taj? What's happening right now? And I've heard some of the spoilers so far, and they don't really add up with what I was hoping this might be. So I don't know. I'm just straight up like theorizing at this point. Like, but I just know these two characters are way more important than we're being led on to believe. That's how I'm feeling right now. There's gotta be some backstory there. Because how do we all of a sudden just get a Minotaur who knows sorcery? And nobody's like, hey, what's going on? You know? I don't know. Anyway, that's my rant there. Another video I should have made, but I never did. Even though I've just been pretty much demoralized by all these Moon Knight videos I put out, all proud of my thumbnail, and then just watching. Nobody watches it because nobody's watching Moon Knight.
Why don't you just do the videos anyway? I mean, maybe cut them down, but do them anyway. You never know.
Yeah. Well, part of it's procrastinating, and the other part of it is I decided like a little while ago when I started getting back into putting out some content that I didn't want to just do breakdown videos, because let's face it, like everybody's doing that. So if I came at like a video, yeah, I'll talk about like what happened in the last episode a little bit, but I want to like come at it with an angle, like find something unique than less people are talking about, and then on top of that, it's just I keep doing too well in my job and it's taking up all my time. So like I'm trying to write a script, and then like the thumbnail takes like 10 minutes. Let's be honest. It's not that hard to do, but I don't know. I gotta get in rhythm and start killing it. Cause like I'm rocking that pendulum till it's like, all right, I can stay up to the wee hours getting this video done. I'm gonna be tired as hell for work in the morning though. I gotta find that medium. I might just do some
you're
more
not
live
still
streams.
doing the morning watch of the stuff.
No.
You're actually staying up until like 3 a.m. to watch these things?
No. Oh hell no. I gave up on that. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna compete with these big dogs right now. I'll put mine out a day later. And Moon Knight just hasn't really got me there to the point where it's like, oh damn, I gotta write something about that, So I don't know. I'm in a weird mood with the current state of Marvel TV shows, but I really I cannot wait to dig into Star Wars too. Like I haven't done a Star Wars video in a minute, and really because I look at Sheev and all these other Star Wars content creators, and I'm like, you guys pull shit out of thin air to talk about here, because there's nothing playing from Star Wars, and there hasn't been. Like some of you, Star Wars Theory started 10 years ago. There were no movies out. This guy was just doing videos about random ass theories and scenarios. Shit is wild. And you know what? I watch it. I eat it up. So I don't know what that says about me too. I don't know. I need to watch something and react. I guess I'm more like a critic, but I'm just nicer.
Well, tomorrow's May the 4th, so maybe we'll actually, get something. Maybe we'll get an Andor teaser, or maybe they're just gonna save all that shit for the celebration. So we'll see what happens.
Scotty doesn't know, buddy. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. But
Cap, what's up?
Oh shit, dude! I hope we get a bigger. I don't know. Do we want to see more in an Obi trailer though? I feel like we're gonna get spoiled at this point. We start seeing more. I don't know. That show I feel like is just gonna be magical. I know you're worried about it, but
I am worried about it because it's Lucasfilm. So I can't help but be concerned, because it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back with them. At the height of success with The Mandalorian, they still found a way to fuck things up. I won't get into the reason why, but
Yeah.
it just seems like they can't get back on the horse and ride straight. It's just, one thing after the other.
Right.
Maybe now that they're starting to uh put stuff out less, like put out feelers for stuff less, and maybe they're starting to get their things in a row first before they actually put stuff out there. So that would be a good thing to happen. But yeah, I everything from Lucasfilm, as far as I'm concerned, is suspect.
You're all suspect, every last one of you.
Exactly, that's right.
I need to start collecting some clips here just to respond to people with, but be the most obscure movie references ever. But no, I just don't. I don't think they can mess this up. It's gonna be so nostalgic seeing this like whole thing play out. Like, as much as you're worried now, it's gonna come on. It's gonna be gripping. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's finally here!" Like, this isn't even the thing I'm most like excited about either. Like, my biggest thing, I've been saying it, is for a year now at least, is I want that Ahsoka show because I know what it's bringing. It's gonna be a Rebels live action series, and I'm so hyped for that. But
Well, they said that I didn't they say that people that were fans of Clone Wars were going to be, basically rewarded.
yeah, but
With
if
that.
you look deeper into that, she's talking to a 6-year-old, and who's one of the biggest stars of the Clone Wars? Ahsoka. So
Mhm.
like, need I say more?
Yeah, I don't know. I really do have the highest hopes for Kenobi. Um, you know, but I really think what we're going to end up getting is somebody else's story that happens to have Kenobi in it.
You really think it's
Because
gonna go down that way? Because I hear
yeah,
people
yeah, I
jump on
do.
that.
I really do. Because we already know where Kenobi and Vader are going to end up. They're just the draws to, show us whatever it is, what other characters or storylines they're trying to put forward. That's what I think.
Do we gotta make another bet? Is that what's happening right now?
Huh. You
I
know
don't.
what? Let me think about it. Let's not finalize it. But what are you thinking? What look? Tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking I don't know how to put this into a way where I win because like there's no way to prove my side of this. Kind of like I made a stupid bet where it's like I bet on whether your opinion will change. Like I basically the last bet we had, I pretty much bet that I was picking the number in your head that you had, like 1 to 10. Like I bet that I knew it more than you did. That's what I did last time we bet. I'm pretty sure, but
Right. And I was willing to totally let you off with that because that was a rough way to go. They would have had to blow me away totally to get me back on board with Book of Boba Fett. So
Obi-Wan's betting with himself right here. Rocco Hardy.
Reiko
Jesus.
Hardin, really?
Oh my god, I didn't
Aw.
even put 2 and 2 together. He's been calling himself Obi-Wan this whole time.
Yeah. But no, if you think about it, there might be a bet that can be had there. So it could happen.
I mean, it
Ladies and
wasn't it
gents.
wasn't the worst thing in the world. It ate up at least like 10, 15 seconds at the beginning of the video. You add a little time, and then people are just thinking to themselves, like, what the hell is this guy talking about right now?
Well, at least that was your motivation to get those videos done, so you could get past the bet.
I was having fun with like trying to find new ways to make fun of Boba Fett for those actually. I got really
I
weird with the
watched.
last one. I don't know if you saw it.
I watched them all. No, I think you did a good job.
I just started putting up it involved like topless Boba Fett's impersonators with super soakers. I don't know where I found that picture, but I don't know. Yeah, somehow we landed on Star Wars here tonight, which not always a bad thing. But
Daniel Fisher is like, the bet should be that I rate it higher at an 8 or better.
you like
I
seeing
don't know
me
if ratings is.
in
I don't
pain,
know if
Dan?
rating would be fair.
You like seeing me in pain? That's what you're saying, Daniel Fisher? You like seeing me lose bets? Jesus. I've never seen Felicity give something 8 or better. Not once.
That is not totally true. I have given things greater than an 8. In Invincible, that was in the 9s for me. The only thing that ruined it is that other Amber.
Oh shit.
The other Amber that everybody hates.
I'm starting to get angry that they haven't given us any word on like this next season of Invincible, because that show was like what actually made me start liking animated shows.
Well, Seth Rogen is one of the producers of that show, so I feel like he's going to find a way to fuck it up. Even though they like pretty much knocked it out of the park with that first season, he's got to find some way to screw it up. That's probably what's happening.
Felicity, I'm gonna send you an avatar picture because people need to see your fake face right now. Hold up.
My fake face?
Here, you use that one. That's what I've been using for you.
Oh yeah, did you guys see the thumbnail? But you probably didn't recognize. You probably were like me. You're like, what's the background? Because I can see Doctor Strange. I can see Moon Knight back there, but it was from The Offer. He fit me into the Secretary Betty's face, I guess.
I was gonna go a totally different route with that, and then I typed in The Offer. I found that. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of perfect. We're sitting at the bar, just talking some shit. But no, Invincible. Yeah, we've got like literally no news. Nobody's talking about that show. It kind of bothers me. Like, I've like promoted that to so many friends. I try getting all my friends to watch these animated shows, and they're like, "Yeah, that's cool, buddy. We don't really care."
Well, I mean, we're probably getting to the point where we're oversaturated with a lot of superheroes, and Moon Knight is one that not a lot of people know about. Yeah. And some people's attitude about Disney is not necessarily in the right place where they're wanting to give new stuff a try. So who knows?
Well, I think Disney's just pushing the boundaries. It's like you can't. They're swinging. So like we can't just give us the same exact formula, the same exact character, same exact show every damn time. So. I'm happy they're trying new things. This thing didn't just. I'm not saying it's a total flop either. Like it wasn't a bad show. It's just not like it's not killing it. That's really what's going on.
Well, my response to that is, I mean, they're still a publicly owned company. So if you're not pleasing the public who's consuming your content, then eventually you'll end up in a situation where you are now, where your stock has dropped. And if it drops below 100, you guys better buy.
But that's let's be real though. Like the MCU isn't the only thing carrying Disney at this point. There's a lot more probably going into that with other crap and who their CEO is, and what I mean. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening with Disney right now. So I'm sure that they are praying, like nobody's business, that Multiverse of Madness blows it out of the park.
I mean, more than likely is too. I'm watching like some of the YouTubers just respond right away. Like there was some of the people that saw the premiere, like Everything Always, Eric Voss from New Rockstars. They all just did like a quick short video I was watching earlier, and they're just like, "Holy shit, this is crazy!" Like they didn't even say anything about it because they can't. But the reviews.
When's the embargo? When is the embargo up? Do you know?
Sure. I think it started already. I don't know the whole rules behind that. I'm not cool
Because
enough.
I mean, yeah, I think they usually cut it pretty close, so that people don't spoil stuff. But I don't take everybody's reviews to heart.
Right.
I you got to be one of my regulars that I listen to before
Right.
I will take that review seriously.
No,
And actually,
at the most when I read those, I'm like just looking for clues, But I heard Kendall kind of go through them earlier, and sounded like mostly positive. I don't think anything really negative about it. And then just from like the short bit I saw, I think this movie's gonna be crazy. I think this. I really hope that I'm wanting the Tom Cruise Iron Man variant, but I don't know if we're actually gonna get it. Be honest with you.
I don't. I mean, I know that's a thing. And not that I hate on Tom Cruise because he definitely has a place. Like the Mission Impossible movies are great.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of good stuff there. He likes to do his own stunts.
Oh,
But
he doesn't have to be in it for
please,
more than like 5 minutes for me. Like not even that's even a long time. I just want to see
right? But
it.
why is that a thing for people? I don't get it. Explain it to me.
I don't know. It'd just be funny. And then especially when we're looking at it and you see like the Ultron bots bringing him up into the Illuminati headquarters, like to stand trial or whatever he's doing.
Hmm.
If that's not Supreme Iron Man's Ultron bot, you are a damn good reason why those bots are there, Um, that's all that's really going on in my head. The only other way you could frame that is like there was a good Ultron, and those are his bots. I don't know what else you do with that.
Well, I mean, how much do you think that they would have to pay Tom Cruise to be in that movie for 5 minutes? That's
I
probably
don't
like
think.
half your budget right there.
Well, in the past, yeah, but now think about it. Like think about the movies that are actually coming out now and actually making headway at the theaters. Like it's everybody knows that the MCU is gold. Like look at the numbers they put out for even like their weakest movies are crushing anything else that tries to compete with it. So I mean, it's even to the point where Feige is not like putting a focus on doing long-term contracts for actors anymore. Like that's documented. Like even with Moon Knight.
That's not Feige. That's not Feige. It's Chapek.
I don't think so. I don't think he has to anymore. I really don't. Like the movie industry is like the MCU right now. They're carrying it, especially through COVID. It's the only thing like carrying the movie industry. Like if we didn't have the MCU during the pandemic, do we even have the movies anymore? Who's going out for like what is getting people excited? It's changed the game.
Yes. Look, I give Feige a lot of credit. However, I feel like there's plenty of evidence out there that says that this is going in the wrong direction. For whatever reason you want to speculate on, but I don't think they're in that great of a place right now. I think they're on the downside. So we'll see. I hope Multiverse of Madness is great. I need it to be great. I've said it. I need this movie to be great because I
Well, this
love
is
Doctor Strange.
I was gonna say this is your
And I
guy.
actually want to see lots of Doctor Strange, although I feel like it's probably going to be mostly a Wanda movie. But yeah, I need the movie to be good, and I need them to explain to me why he did the spell. And yes, that is a sticking point for me. And that is the MCU's fault because they portrayed him to be risk averse. And that feels like to me something that somebody like him would not have done. Not even because it was the kindness of his heart, because he cared about Peter so much, which I think he probably said in like an interview recently. Because I guess I'm not the only one questioning why he did the spell.
See,
He's like, I'm tired of explaining why I did the spell.
See you. Let me rewind it, right? Because you've said, you've gone on record. You said like Doctor Strange 1 is like one of your favorite movies, right? In the MCU.
Yeah, I like the character. Yes, definitely. And I definitely like the portrayal that Cumberbatch is doing. And even in What If, that show that really was mostly worthless, his appearance in What If is what, elevated that show for me.
All right,
So
so let's go back to Doctor Strange 1 though. Like, so would you? That's the most accurate portrayal of Doctor Strange so far. That's him in your eyes right now, right?
Uh right, because if you remember, the issue that he had with Pangborn is because basically he wouldn't see him to even attempt his surgery because it was too much of a risk and it would have screwed up his numbers.
Right. All right.
So
wait. So so your whole thing was like he's risk averse. He's going too wild in the Spider-Man movie. Then like the political science major, like 1 year of law school, and then Out of Me is coming out right now, trying to like fight you. Is in the Doctor Strange 1, like he's pretty much like he's wild. He's running through that whole library. He's opening books he shouldn't be opening. He got more
right, but he was
like
trying to learn
just because of like using the time stone in the way he did. But then when he's
but he was trying to learn. I mean, he's got what, like a photographic memory. So he was going through those books, like water. So I'm not saying he won't take risks, but he takes calculated risks.
See, in my mind, the Doctor Strange that was least like Doctor Strange, at least MCU version of it, because in my mind, Doctor Strange is the guy from the '90s Spider-Man show. When I saw him like a few episodes, that was like my first exposure to him when I was a kid. But that's besides the point. Like in the MCU, in my mind, Doctor Strange is like an animal. Like he's just doing whatever. He's loving like the sorcery game. And then when we see him in Infinity War, he's just all of a sudden like so responsible, and he's like calling Tony Stark a douchebag, and it's like, dude, you were this guy. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like you made Mordo quit because you went too wild out with your way of beating Dormammu, which was kind of bullshit. But at the same time, you know where I'm coming from? I don't know.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like he still did the work to become the Sorcerer Supreme, although he's not the Sorcerer Supreme. Shout out to Trinity, because Sorcerer Supreme is actually Wong, for technicality, since Doctor Strange got snapped out of existence for 5 years. But no, he actually did the work to be at that level. So he's not careless. At least that's not the way that I see him. I think if he's taking risks, it's calculated. It's not, just random.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think he was just so responsible because he had to be in Infinity War and Endgame. And it's like, I like the more reckless Strange. Like he's gonna bend the rules. That's like the Strange. I know he's gonna do what he needs to get shit done.
Right. No, he will bend rules, but with thought behind it. Like, okay, if we go back to Doctor Strange 1 again, like, the different surgeries and stuff, you see how he was talking to the doctors and trying to basically talk them through, how the surgeries needed to be done and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, he had it so down. He had it even down more than them, and he was basically teaching them to think about it a little bit differently. So that's where my head is at with Doctor Strange. And again, maybe other people don't see it that way, but because I'm in the medical field as well, that's kind of is why
I was just trying to say it without blowing up yourself. I know why you don't
No,
Doctor
no,
Strange
no,
now.
it's okay. It's cool. It's cool. But no, I'm in the medical field. So that type of thinking, I really identify with that. So that's probably why he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah, but and this Obi-Wan's got, bro. You change your name almost as much as Mike Porter. I'm still calling you the homie. But but I think he's got a point here. I see this in Felicity all the time. It's just like we've gotten like the creme de la creme of, I said that wrong, but of Marvel, like with Endgame. But I'm not even sold on that. I think they could do so many better stories, like going down the pipe. Like the whole talk with like Secret Wars. I'm so fucking pumped if they actually come out with something like even remarkably close to that. Like the closest thing we've gotten to Secret Wars in any shape or form so far on TV or in the movies is like the 90s animated Spider-Man version where they do it the like, battle world with like that Peter Parker leading like a group of superheroes. So yeah, like I think it's gonna take like once we get something like that again. I think Felicity's in it. She's here. She's chilling. But once we get like the final like ultimate build up, like that's when we'll start getting the 8s and 9s and 10s back again in the ratings.
I don't know. Because I still feel really invested in those characters on up to Endgame. So most of them are gone now.
Yeah. Oh, so you're missing the OGs.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously I do understand that, they have to move on to other characters. But Black Widow, Shang-Chi, the Eternals, and a lot of these shows just have not really made me want to reinvest, in the MCU. So that's why this movie, Multiverse of Madness, is so important, especially with Doctor Strange, because if this can blow me out of the water, then I'll be back in. I'll still probably be talking shit about the Miss Marvel and She Hulk and all these other shows that they got coming. But I'll still have the investment if they can get this movie right.
I think I'm more. Oh, I'm probably not alone, but I'm definitely excited about She-Hulk as opposed to Miss Marvel. But especially if they go back to like that 70s Hulk vibe or 80s Hulk vibe, I guess is when that show was out. That'd be kind of cool if they could somehow find a way to make it like just feel like it, even though I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying.
When are we even getting that? Because I know
I don't know.
Miss Marvel is supposed to be in June. Like a couple. Isn't it supposed to be after Kenobi? When that comes out.
Yeah, I don't know.
But She-Hulk, is it this year?
It should be, right? I hope so. Anyway, they've been like so secretive. We don't know when anything's coming out. Marvel now.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've heard anything about the show, which kind of makes me wonder, because they're doing a lot of delaying and reshoots and all that type of stuff, on a lot of the stuff they're putting out, not just the MCU stuff, but the Star Wars stuff too. So who knows what we're gonna get?
Because after Kenobi, like we don't even have anything for like. Remember the talk was like we're gonna get a whole year of like all Star Wars, and it's like we haven't got shit yet. We're like we're in May already. They haven't given anything. Like I don't know. Lucasfilms definitely pisses me off because they're just not like. Why are they so slow? That's
I mean, if it's deliberate because they're trying to get it right, even though I might bitch about, not having stuff, like, I mean, Andor, that pisses me off so much because they've been working on that shit since 2016. And we've only gotten like a teaser of it. And supposedly they've already shot like 2 seasons. hoping for a third. So it's just like, what the fuck? How are you doing 3 seasons and I haven't seen shit yet from you?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, that's right. And like, yeah. Oh my god, Andor. Everybody's going wild about Andor. I have no fucking idea what this is gonna be. Like, I don't know.
I don't know how people are so hyped for it when we haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they've had rumors about it, but it's about fucking Cassian Andor, who was like the least interesting character in that movie, Rogue One. So I don't know what people are hyped about. They're hyped about the cameos, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that, Mike Porter. Uh, so you think that because Grace didn't like it, that I'm not gonna like it? I hate to tell you, I don't really share a lot of opinions with Grace Randolph. No, I'm not trying to sprout hate or anything like that, but we just don't have the same mindset about stuff. But that's kind of surprising that she would actually come out and say she didn't like the movie.
Yeah. I don't care what Grace has to say. Grace can go fuck herself. But
What? Tell us how you really think.
no, I gotta like. Besides maybe a couple like Charles Murphy's pretty cool. He's like responded to me a couple times, but yeah, I don't care about any of these people as people. I'm just looking to see what they put out there. Like, you know, if they're giving me a little insight early and not too much, then that's how you get on my good side. You're a scooper. That's a life, you know. But I don't know, Felicity.
Yeah, I don't know either. And just to respond again to Mike Porter, I mean, who cares about the critics? I mean, these days it's hard to get the critics and the audience, lined up.
A lot don't like it.
I mean, look, the audience is who's spending the money. Grace, I'm sure, saw it for free, so she can give her free opinion. That's fine, but I would rather talk to somebody that actually spent money to see the movie.
Yeah, where are we? Damn, maybe I gotta dip deeper in those reviews. I wasn't seeing like a lot of people not like. I don't know, Mike. Is a lot like one to you because you're in Shillverse? Like, am I? I didn't hear a lot didn't like it. It sounded pretty positive. It sounded better than Eternals.
Well, Mike, look, whether I like it or don't like it, I will still love you. It doesn't matter because, we're all here to share our opinions, and sometimes we disagree, and I probably disagree with a lot of people more than other people, but it's fine.
Can we take a moment too? Did Mike Porter update his YouTube photo? Because holy shit, what's going on here?
No, that's the same photo.
That's how it's always been. Have I just not seen it this clearly before?
I think that's the same one.
Mike, you're crazy. All right.
Exactly, Darth Chaos. You and Mike are gonna like it already, but they need to get other people. They need normies to spend the money to see the movie. So they really need that. And I'm not going to see it until Sunday. So
you're not going to Sunday?
Unfortunately, yeah, because FOMO is not a thing for me. I don't need to, I don't need to be the first one in line. I wait till Sunday.
The way I have my phone set up, like with everything, I have notifications. Like if I don't go see it right away, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just like all the stuff that's hitting my phone, I can't go on. I have to avoid social media completely for like a week if I don't go see it right away. But
I don't care about getting spoiled. I'm not going to go out of my way to get spoiled. But I mean, a lot of these movies get spoiled now. A lot of the stuff that is going to happen in this movie, we probably have known about for a while, or get theory crafted about. So I'm just gonna sit down and watch it, and I hope I'm entertained, and I hope Doctor Strange doesn't get cucked.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen. To be honest, I think you're gonna get a little like sub story about Wanda, but this is a Doctor Strange movie still. You know, I don't think. I don't know. I don't even think. I got a feeling like
Well,
cameos.
okay, but we talked earlier about Moon Knight, which is a show that doesn't have a whole lot of Moon Knight in it. So
yeah, but Doctor Strange is always that. He doesn't even have an alter ego anymore. You can't compare those. Like you're going from Moon Knight, a character who literally has like 3 secret identities, as opposed to a superhero identity, and Doctor Strange is just Doctor Strange. Like there's nothing.
Well,
else.
we'll see. You know what's going to happen because I mean it's Multiverse of Madness, so there's going to be, you know, other characters. For some reason, that word is escaping me right now. What's the word I'm looking for, Green Bear? Different variants. There's going to be variants of characters. Sorry, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think if there's any disappointment for this movie, it might be that we're all kind of going into it with like that WandaVision state of mind, where like we've just been programmed to think like every Marvel movie has to set the stakes for the next like 5, like way higher, you know, and all the implications. And I don't know, like will this actually like make a grand change to everything? Is this gonna like completely change the game? I don't know.
I don't know. And since you bring up WandaVision, you know, that was my capper on that show. The reason why I didn't end up liking it. It was simply because
I'm leaving that up.
Doctor Strange did not show up at the end, which made absolutely no sense. It totally killed the show for me. And some people may think that's petty, but who cares?
Yeah, see, everybody that was, I think, like normies love WandaVision. That's like you ask them, like that's like their favorite show out of like all the Marvel shows out. But people that were like digging deeper and looking for more, especially like week by week as we were watching it, it pissed us off more than anything else in the world. Like WandaVision, if I go back and watch it again, I guarantee you I'd probably love it. But right now, all my memory is of it is like no Reed Richards, assholes, no boner.
Boner?
Really? Yeah.
The boner.
Yeah, because we're just thinking about the emotionally triggered response we got when we didn't get what we thought we were going to get. But all in all, it probably was a pretty good show. I just got me mad like too many times.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I get that they wanted to, you know, give Wanda her showcase, and she definitely deserved it. But in the end, because basically she ended up being the bad guy and didn't take responsibility for anything, and she wasn't made to take responsibility for anything because Doctor Strange didn't show up. They kind of just left it hanging. So, you know. But hopefully they'll work that all out in this movie, and hopefully she doesn't kill too many people.
Turns out we learned that she actually deserved her own movie more than Black Widow did. But
oh no, don't get me started on that one because that's also a sore spot for me. But yeah, we got Captain Marvel, which yeah, I did have to dig at you on Twitter about that because for some reason whoever you responded to called it Captain Marvel 2, and it's not Captain Marvel 2, it's actually The Marvels. That's the name of the fucking movie. It's not Captain Marvel 2.
I like that movie, and I don't think it's more like all like the people that don't like her or for whatever reason. I like that movie just because my own reasons. Like I grew up pretty much in the 90s, so just all that, just the whole vibe of it. That's what made me like it. Like at points did it get a little weird, and yeah, but I was fine with it.
So the nostalgia is what did it for you.
That's what got me. I was like, oh, that's cool. She's wearing a 9 Inch Nail shirt, doing this. Oh, okay. And I was in the Air Force, so I'm watching her do that stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, but people gonna people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nick Fury got cucked in that movie. That cat scratch thing, that was total bullshit. Okay.
I know the whole time you're like, oh, why does he trust people?
He should not trust cats.
Michael Porter, what
But
the
yeah,
hell? I just put this up on screen without even reading it, and now I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Oh man, this old guy.
I love Mike Porter.
Oh, of course. I give him. If I'm not giving people shit, that means I probably don't like you. But
Yeah.
All right, but I kept you on here like about an hour and a half now. I'm sure you got a job, so
Grown folks got jobs.
Yeah. So I appreciate all you guys for popping in here. Dan Fisher, you still in here? Give me something if you're still in here. Actually, pop up that Discord link for Main Gang if you're still in here, Dan Fisher, anybody else, and we'll leave it at that in the comments. And appreciate you, Felicity, for popping on the show to let me hear your insight on the offer. I'll probably invite you on here again, maybe even next week, because I just don't like streaming by myself. And
that is cool. I'd be open to it, and we could probably talk about the newer episode of The Offer, and whatever our thoughts are on that, and obviously on Multiverse of Madness, since we'll both have seen it by then.
Yeah, for sure. And check me out if you're awake anyway at like a little after midnight on Thursday. I'll be doing my live drive home. It's just what I do on the ride home from the movie theater. It's about 15 minutes. Perfect time for a video. You guys could peep it in the morning afterwards. I try to just kind of really just bring out like when do you want to talk about the movie you just watched more than right after you just watched it, right? I just pop in my phone right up on the deck and try to avoid blowing anything for you guys. And it's usually spoiler 3 and just giving you my immediate reaction, which is probably the most honest one. So that's what I'll be doing Thursday night. I probably missed all the deadlines I possibly could on like getting any good videos out on Multiverse of Madness, but whatever. We got more stuff coming up, and hey, I'm back now. I'm having a little bit of fun. I got some subscriptions to StreamYard going, so I don't have to put up that dumb logo on the top right. And, I think we're finding a formula here that'll work. But, again, appreciate you, Felicity. Check her out every Sunday night at 7 p.m. For a certain point of view, not perspective. I don't know what that other guy was talking about.
From a certain point of view, yes, on the Main Gang server.
her with Abby Kays. And maybe we'll get me both guys on here, or both girls, ladies, whatever we're talking about. I'm going to hunt down Trinity, get him on here. It's one of these days, too. Maybe we'll just fill this whole board up. But anyway, I don't know. I just keep rambling. I had a little whiskey scotch, and now I'm ready to go to bed. So, everybody, thanks for stopping by. It's been fun. It's been real. But now you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.